we want to have the magnet talk. Let's have the magnet talk. Let's do it. All right. Skip's gonna have a heart attack. This is gonna be wonderful. All right. Let's go through it. Large animal blade. I don't do very many of these damn things. In fact, this is the only one I got on my truck. This is one Skip sent me to use for bedding my plate in. But I don't know about you guys, but this is the biggest one I got. 1 1/4 inch. I think it's got about 85 pounds of pressure or pull pressure. Yeah, it goes on solid and it don't rock, and you cannot pull. You can't pull it off, man. I mean, you have to slide it some. You gotta slide it off the side because it won't come off. But that might be a good one for that. When I'm all the way up on, what is this, 3 3/4? I mean, this is. Sometimes I'll go to this, you know, if it's a 5/8 or something, and you know they're real slick, man. You know, and that really weird angle. So the wider magnet seems to, and you know, I can set it up to where I've got my weight balanced as I'm holding this ball centered, you know, and it goes down on the plate real easy, you know, just a little bit back first, and then, but anyway, so I use that one quite a bit. I got one that's a little bit smaller in diameter. It's got the same amount of power as that one because this is actually a neodymium magnet. It's a pretty bad little son of a gun, but it has a little bit smaller footprint. You can use it on that or a 4. Use that on a 4. This is about the same thing, but a little bit smaller, a little bit less power. By the time you get down to a 5, you could be using this. That said, by the time I get down to a 5, any of the rest of them are going to work. I've got this one here. It's got, I really like this L-shaped magnet. It feels good in my hand, especially with the height that I'm using for my guide system. But you know, on a 4 or a 5, whatever, it's got a really wide contact patch pattern, and the L shape of that allows me to kind of put my fingers down on the sides like this. I can actually have my fingertips on the edges of the magnets, edge of that blade, and then I wrap this finger back here kind of underneath it. It allows me to get down on the plate, and I've got this finger back here that I can kind of pull up on that and put a little bit of forward pressure. You know, it feels really, really good across here. It feels real natural. So I like that one, and I got the same one with a little bit smaller magnet. Those each are about 25 pounds a piece, magnets as far as per square inch, so you got quite a bit. These are not quite as powerful, and these I'll use on, you know, your 10s and all the way down to 50, you know, something like that. Sometimes on like a 50 or something, I would use something as small as this. My favorite one of these actually is the one, and this one right here, man. This one I got from Dennis Brooks, dude. This thing, it is rocks, dude. On cutters, it's my very favorite. I use this one on cutters as well. It sits up a little bit higher, which is fine with my guide because it allows me just to hang my hand off and just grab the ball right there, and I can really get good and focused on it and get a good flat edge with it on a cutter. That one's cool. But this, of course, is my favorite. It's more of an acorn shape than it is a round ball. So your fingers really get dug down in beside, and you can push down on the blade a little bit there and kind of get real nice and good on the, it feels good, man. It's a real comfortable magnet. You need to buy one of these for Dennis no matter what you do. All right, now I came up with a new one for the cutter, and that's this little goose jobber right here. It's just a piece of billet. I believe it's about 3/4 of an inch. It is 1/2 inch by the mica magnet. So it's 1 1/4 by 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 wide by 1/2 inch thick. You've got a little bit of this grip tape on top where you can really get a hold of it, and then this dude right here is a bad boy. This is a neodymium magnet, but instead of being magnetized North Pole, South Pole through the ends this way, it's magnetized through this direction. Like over here, you're going to have a south, hold on this side, you're going to have a South Pole. This side over here, you're also going to have a South Pole. So we know that that's south and this is north. But anyway, this little bad boy, I also take a scribe. I don't know if you can see it in the light or not, but I take a scribe and just scratch the hell out of it real good. And what that allows me to do is, okay, so that little dude there is going to go into the groove on the cutter. And it's 30 pounds per square inch. I mean, it's if you pull straight, it's hard to get that sucker. Oh shit! It's hard to get that sucker off of there, right? Anyway, but what this allows you to do is when you're sitting down on the plate, depending on how you're sitting, how you're there, some of these things, it seems like the back of them's kind of bulbed up a little bit more, and your magnet seems to want to sit forward or back or whatever. Well, that's what this is all about right here. I can actually change that angle on that, and it's still going to grab on that little spot right there in the middle and stay straight. Man, I cut the shit out of my finger. Idiot. Anyway, so it really allows you to get on the plate and get comfortable at whatever, you know, angle feels good for you. Anyway, that's a really good one, man. But anyway, that's my thoughts on magnets. I'd like to see your ideas or what you guys are using, and you know, the hand postures to go along with it and all that kind of good stuff. I don't know. Have fun with that, Skip. Pick it apart, you turd.